Hey everyone, I'm Lift Cacao founder Nick Meter, and today I'm going to introduce you to a cacao pod. It's rare for me to see one of these because they only grow in tropical climates, hot and humid places. So I've only seen them in person in Guatemala and Costa Rica so far. I happen to be in Hawaii right now, which is the only state where cacao can grow. So I actually found this pod at a farmer's market. This is a nice specimen of a cacao pod. It's about 8 inches long, maybe 3 or 4 inches wide. I'll bring it closer so you can see a little bit more detail. They do come in different shapes and sizes depending on the genetics. There are also different colors. Most of them start out either dark red or light green and then take on some form of yellow as they ripen. They tend to have ridges long ways down the sides. They might have tiny ridges too, or be smoother on the outside. This one's pretty smooth. If I was just on a cacao farm, I would basically knock this over a rock to open it. Most farmers will use a machete about this long and just kind of hack it a little bit in this middle part until they can break it open. Since I'm not on a farm right now, I'm going to use this knife. To me, it feels kind of like a squash, like an acorn squash, or a little bit softer than a butternut squash. But basically, I'm just going to make this cut all the way around it until I feel like yep, there we go. Now I can pull it open to reveal the seeds, which are encased in a white pulp. This, again, is a very rare sight for people who don't live in a tropical climate in a place where cacao can grow. That's an interesting view too. The inside of the pod is really smooth and can actually be used as a cup if you're at a cacao farm. That's a nice way to drink cacao. But the pulp around the seeds is a little smooth and sticky. It has a tangy, creamy flavor, which can only really be enjoyed right away. There are some cacao pulp products on the market these days, either a drink or frozen pulp that you can buy and just enjoy. But essentially, that's the fruit of the cacao, is the white stuff there. Mm. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. It's hard to describe, but I think of it as a cross of a banana and a mango flavor. Essentially, on a cacao farm, what they would do after breaking it open is to use their hands and pull all the seeds to separate them, and they will go into a big pile, basically, maybe first in a basket, but then in the way that ceremonial cacao is made, they'll be dumped into a wooden crate for fermentation. After pulling them all out, there's this stringy stuff left that you can actually eat. It's not as sweet as the rest of the pulp, but yeah, a rare sight if you haven't been to a cacao farm. Now, I accidentally cut into this seed, and I do call them cacao seeds. Most people refer to these as cacao beans, but hopefully you can see that deep purple color. They range from dark purple like this to lighter purple, even white sometimes, depending on the genetics. That's what they look like when they are all pulled out, glistening, sticky, and the natural sugars that are in that pulp are what, combined with oxygen in the air, fuel the fermentation process that comes next. Not all cacao is fermented. If it's not, it would just be called washed cacao or cacao lavado in Spanish. But most cacao these days is fermented from 4 to 7 days. Some of the varieties that Lift gets are fermented even up to 10 days. Obviously, I really recommend that you come on one of our group cacao tours because we go to farms and then you can taste some of this pulp fresh. It's like nothing else. Thanks for watching this introduction to cacao pods. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'm Nick Meter.